He was like this yesterday, when he fell off his bike.
Danny!
Come on, let's get him to the surgery. I don't know what's going on here, but I want to get him a thorough checkup.
Tell him about the caveman. You know, you're dead, you. You're dead, I'm telling you.
Calm down. Look, the more you struggle, the worse it gets. Take it easy, we'll have you out. Just calm down.
Stig of a Dump next Sunday evening here on BBC1 at the slightly earlier time of 10 to 6. Martin Jarvis reads the complete story of Clive King's Stig of the Dump on this set of BBC audio cassettes.
The new CBBS digital channel launches tomorrow. Playtime, all the time.
For information on how to get CBBS, call 08700 100 789 or visit bbc.co.uk/CBBS.
This is BBC1. Now the news with Darren Jordan.
Books of condolence open for Princess Margaret as the public pay their respects. Special prayers are said for the Queen's sister who died yesterday. A new campaign to win over parents as doubts remain about MMR. And down and out, Britain's dumped from the Davis Cup. Good evening. Books of condolence have been opened for Princess Margaret at St James's Palace today. Prayers and special church services have also been held in memory of the Princess, who died yesterday. Our royal correspondent, Jenny Bond, is at Kensington Palace, where people have been laying floral tributes. Jenny.
Yes, and the Princess's children, David and Sarah, have spent much of the day together here at the palace where their mother's body is lying at rest. The coffin is expected to be moved from here to the Queen's Chapel at St James's Palace in the next day or two, and that, of course, is where those books of condolence were opened earlier today for anyone who wants to pay their respects. The family want to keep things low-key, and the doors of St James's were opened with minimal ceremony. The contrast with the scenes following Diana's death couldn't be clearer. But this was for a princess of a different generation. No queues, no tears, just a steady trickle of well-wishers.
It's a changed era from when she was young and vital, and I suppose there's not all that much interest in royalty in lots of regards today, but still I am, and that's why I'm here today.
I just felt she deserved a small tribute from all of us for all the services she's given over the years, despite all the fun and playing she did. She did a lot of hard work.
As the guards in their black armbands carried out their duties, another arrival was the actor and singer Jason Donovan.
She seemed sort of warm and obviously supported various charities, and You know, like anything in this particular situation, your thoughts go out to families.
At Windsor, the Queen joined in prayers for her sister at a private service. And the Duke of Edinburgh, who's at Sandringham, drove to the local church where the Princess was remembered for her love of life and for the way she had faced her suffering. At Southwark, the bells were muffled as a mark of respect for the Princess, who was patron of the Friends of the Cathedral.
Remembering Princess Margaret's long association with this diocese, we observe a minute's silence in tribute to her life.
And there were more tributes today from the world of sport. England manager Sven-Göran Eriksson joined captain David Beckham in a minute's silence before Manchester United's game at Charlton. Outside the Princess's home here at Kensington Palace, the small pile of flowers has not grown much during the day. But one poignant reminder of her long association with the Girl Guides came from a group of brownies who brought a bouquet of 71 daffodils, one for each year of her life. And of course it was a life that was quite troubled and made her quite a controversial figure. But those messages of condolence today, though quite few in number, were simple and straightforward. Several said, "We miss you." One said, "Thanks for much delight." And another perhaps summed up the Princess. It said, "A life of problems, but of privilege too." Darren.
Jenny, we've seen special prayers and services throughout the country for the Princess, but are you getting a sense of the mood there where you are?
Well, it's very quiet, isn't it? I mean, I don't think we can pretend for a moment this is a nation struck down by grief. Here, there's been a trickle of people to see the small pile of flowers. She wasn't the same character as the Princess of Wales. She wasn't held in that kind of affection, that's clear. And also her death was perhaps to have been expected. So a very different mood to that which we saw in 1997.
OK, Jenny, thank you very much indeed. An advertising campaign to convince parents that the MMR vaccine is safe is being planned by the government. The Chief Medical Officer, Professor Liam Donaldson, will also write to clinics and hospitals this week, challenging claims that there could be a link between MMR and autism.
With more and more worried parents opting for single vaccines, unsettled and unconvinced by what they've heard, the government is now engaged in a concerted campaign of persuasion. Its advisers are sure the message on the safety of MMR is right, but it isn't getting through.
If I could sit down and talk to parents individually, I'm sure that once they heard the facts about the safety of the MMR vaccine and about the risks of single vaccine, they would be convinced.
This family isn't. Darren and Carol Warburton have spent the last week listening to the arguments. In interviews for the BBC, they spoke to many of those involved, including Professor Donaldson's deputy and Dr. Andrew Wakefield, whose work raised the concerns of a possible link with autism. They've decided that 14-month-old Philip will not get the triple jab, despite government reassurances.
We've heard it all before. Everybody's heard it before. It doesn't convince anybody anyway, and I would doubt if you could convince a few people, let alone all of them.
This is the website for 10 Downing Street, setting out the case for MMR. An intensive media campaign is now also being considered to dispute the validity of any link with autism. At St Paul's Cathedral today, a service to raise awareness of autism. Among those attending, the Mason family. Their 3 boys developed the condition, in each case a short time after receiving the jab. Their mother wants more research.
All this money that's put into advertising the safeness of MMR, put that into research and find out why there is such a large increase in autism.
The Department of Health is convinced this is a campaign it must win. A decision on new adverts has yet to be taken, but health workers will be targeting areas where the uptake of MMR is falling. Daniel Bircher, BBC News.
Israeli warplanes have bombed Yasser Arafat's security headquarters in Gaza City. Palestinian police say a number of people have been injured. The attack came just hours after gunmen killed 2 Israeli women and wounded at least 5 other people in a gun attack close to an army base in southern Israel. 2 gunmen were shot dead by Israeli troops. Students in England will soon be able to take GCSEs and A-levels in subjects like tourism, manufacturing and design. The government says it wants some vocational subjects to be given the same status as academic subjects. 6 new GCSEs will be piloted this year, but ministers deny that the changes mean education is getting easier.
The Education Secretary, keen to boost the status of vocational education, toured this Birmingham college where students study courses such as hairdressing and healthcare. She wants to stop the snobbery which regards work-related courses as second best. So she'll allow pupils as young as 14 to drop academic subjects in favour of vocational courses, which will still lead to GCSEs and A-levels.
The important thing is they've got status, they've earned their right to be GCSEs. And if we can offer a qualification in vocational subjects that's equivalent to the qualification in academic subjects, I think we might get rid of this historic failure to really value vocational subjects.
But to make space in the timetable for GCSEs in manufacturing or engineering, 14-year-olds can abandon national curriculum subjects like foreign languages, which are currently compulsory.